Hey everybody, we are back. We've been on a break. Hopefully we're not too rusty, but this is Let's Talk Phys Ed, a show where we get to talk phys ed. We get to chat a little bit with some of the most influential physical educators and health educators in our society, in our world right now. I am your host, Jason Steele. With me as always, my man, Tanner Rose.
Hey everybody, check this out. It's official. I've got my Let's Talk Phys Ed mug. I had to buy it myself. They wouldn't buy me one. But I got my Let's Talk Phys Ed one. I saw that Nate Klein and Dan Hill both got theirs. I know Jorge, he ordered one. It's going to take a while to get to Saudi Arabia. He's got to go the roundabout way. But I think he's getting a pink one. That's pretty exciting. So what do you think about that?
I'm very impressed. I've got my one, but I got my PE teacher one.
I like it.
But I'm not here to outdo you guys today.
Since we're sharing, I got this golf one from my daughter for Christmas. It comes with a little putter, and while you're drinking your coffee or tea.
Awesome.
Went with the British tea today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding.
I'm going with the Iowa water.
So speaking of slow chat gift exchange, which we haven't been talking about, but Andy Milne, you're our guest today. You're kind of the brains behind that. And I got to tell you, before we get to know you a little bit, slow chat gift exchange, 60 people involved this year. And I'm involved. Tanner's involved. Guess who I get?
And it was all random.
All random, and I get Tanner. But Tanner, that beard has never looked better with that stuff I sent you. So you are welcome.
I had to cut out the white. I got this white coming in.
Yeah. So, as I said, our guest today, I told you we were going to be rusty. We're kind of all over the place right now. But our guest tonight, honestly, one of the most influential health and PE teachers around, Andy Milne. Andy, how are you? Who are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
No, it's good to be here. I really appreciate you inviting me on, and I'm so impressed with what you've put together. I've enjoyed watching this little thing grow, and the people you've had on, and the lineup you've got for season 2 is amazing. So yeah, I know, right? And you've caught me here. What are we? Somewhere in between Christmas and New Year. So yeah, it's been a good break. Caught up with the family, recharged those batteries. I've got a lot of reading to do before we go back to school next week. But I'm feeling good and happy to be here.
That's awesome. And we're so glad that you're here. And like you said, our lineup has just exploded. We've got just amazing people joining us. And we were super excited about this one when you agreed to be a guest back in July or August when we had set it up. And I just thought, when we set it up and you said yes, I said, oh, I hope he doesn't forget. I hope he doesn't forget. He didn't forget. He was here. He was here early. He's ready to go. So now you've seen the show. We're going to jump into some questions now.
Okay, go ahead.
Some of them are Phy Ed related. Some of them aren't.
I'm Phy Ed.
Or health ed.
Yeah, or health ed, right? But some of them aren't. And so we're just gonna get to know you a little bit. This is to get to know you, okay? So your career path has been an adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
You started and you ended up in Illinois as the Shape America National Health Ed Teacher of the Year. That must have been incredible. Take us through that, how you got to that point, and then when you were named that Health Ed Teacher of the Year. Just what you felt, how it was.
The journey's been amazing. I mean, I've been teaching for, I think, 23 years. You stop counting after a while, and it's 6 schools on a couple of continents. And I moved over to America to get married an American girl, and started all over again. And that was tough, coming over as an immigrant and leaving my reputation behind and my coaching experience behind and moving here and no one knowing me. And just through a series of moves and really practicing with technology and trying to be innovative in the classroom, developed a name for myself. So yeah, I was fortunate to work my way through becoming Illinois Health Teacher of the Year, Midwest Health Teacher of the Year. And you're right, when you're there at the national convention and you're sitting around a table with your peers, who were all up for the same award. I was nervous. I was speechless when they called my name out. And I gave a passionate thank you and burst into tears on stage. And I think that summed it up. It summed up the hard work and the journey and leaving friends and family behind. And I knew it was all worth it when I picked up that award.
Totally acceptable. I couldn't imagine sitting around. I could imagine. You've got to be sitting there, and you're sitting there with what, 6 to 8 other people, right, who are up for that award, right? And you're thinking, boy, I'd really be happy for you to win. But I really want to win this, right? Like, there's got to be some competitive nature.
You know what? They look after you really well in the days beforehand. Not only Shape America, but Spark Sport Time as well, who are the sponsors of the award. And they let it be known that you've all done well to get this far. And you have a little award ceremony the night before, and you're given your district award. So anything else beyond that is gravy. So I've not only been there on the receiving end, but then the following year, I got to be there, and I was the person with the name in the envelope, in the tuxedo, and I got to call out Kimahara's name as well. And already I'm looking forward to being in Tampa in April, because there's a few people who are up for this year who I'm very, very anxious to kind of see how well they do.
And Talk Show of the Year is a new award I heard that Shape America's giving out.
But we're going to give out that award.
I'm hoping we get that one, since
there could be an alternate awards ceremony somewhere.
We might be the only one. So
might be in the lounge, but we'll see. So, hey, as most people know, you're the brains behind the Send a Teacher project. In the last 2 years, Send a Teacher has been able to send 2 different educators to the last 2 national conventions. And I know that your goal, I read on your website, is to send 2 more teachers this year to Tampa. Can you tell us a little bit about Send a Teacher and how that has all gone about?
Yeah, thanks for letting me talk about that. So I'm lucky. I go to a school that is very well resourced, and they send me to conferences with their blessing. And the more I travel, the more I hear stories of other people who just can't get to conferences and can't get good PD just to a lack of support or a lack of finances. So I put together the Send a Teacher initiative 3 years ago now, and just thought I'd sell some T-shirts with 100% of the profits going towards this pool of money. And you're right, we sent 2 teachers to Nashville, so to Boston. Yeah, oh, you got the T-shirt on. Thanks for your support. We took 2 public school teachers from Boston, and we sent them to Shape Boston. Then we did the same for Nashville. And although the target this year was to get 2 for Tampa, we just had a partnership with Shape America, who are selling a T-shirt through us on their website, with the goal of perhaps raising enough money to send a further 2 people to Tampa. So we could get 4 Send a Teacher recipients this year, which is amazing. And in addition to that, we've had a few side gigs as well. We raised money for a school that was wiped out through Hurricane Harvey, and Jorge helped me put that together. And then we've also supported some GoFundMe schemes, and we've paid registration for a few teachers. So when the money's good and the money comes in, I make sure it goes towards teachers who need it. And I love it. And I love the fact that it's also spurred some other initiatives as well that have raised money for various good causes. I know you had the I Tweet PE. California have their own one as well. And Aunt Paddle's Land doing something. So it's great. Wouldn't it be great if every state put something together and just let this money earn itself and send a worthy teacher to a conference?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Additionally, the I Tweet PE was so inspired by what you were doing. I saw what you were doing, and I thought, we've got to be able to do something. Like, I wonder if there's an initiative that does it for equipment, and that's what kind of spurred the I Tweet PE thing. Mm-hmm. And many other people maybe don't know, but the I Tweet PE came from your idea, and you actually were at Shape Tampa or Shape Nashville talking to me on the phone about this idea. So it just kind of exploded into that. It's coming along a little bit. It's not as big as Send a Teacher yet. I'm hoping that we can to gain a little bit momentum, but But yeah, with the Paddle Slam one and Brandon Wolf in there too, and some pretty cool things happening. So
Yeah, that's sweet.
awesome
Yeah.
things you're doing.
I was going to mention also, beginning of the year, I know a bunch of teachers switched new schools, and Andy's laughing. Andy, send a teacher, was so nice. He sent personalized notes. Here's the note. I know a couple other educators that I follow received some handmade notes from you, and it really helped when the year started. And I'm new to the building, and I'm looking around. I don't know even like where my stapler is. Turns out I had to buy my own. So I'm looking around, and all of a sudden I've got this thing on my desk, and it's it's a friendly reminder that people are looking out for me.
Yeah.
And so I want to say thank you very much, Andy.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. That was a really nice thing I put together. I'd listened to a podcast, and this guy had written 5 thank you letters a day for a year, I believe. And I thought, well, I could do some letter writing. So I had those printed up, and I knew that so many teachers had new ventures lined up for the year. I sat down one afternoon and cranked those out, and it was so nice because then I got some thank you letters back, and it's nice. I think we're a great community online, and things like this, just getting together, the three of us having a conversation, putting it out on YouTube, the podcasting that goes on, the blogging that goes on, all the things that we do. It's amazing to think that we could go to Tampa, and you're going to bump into so many educators that that you would never have known 10 years ago without social media. So social media, I think, has brought us together. And I think so many of us are singing from the same hymn sheet, and we're bringing other people along as well. So it has to be good for us, and it has to be good for our kids as well.
Very, very well said. And the phys ed community, like you said, to me is just incredible. Like I'm new to the Twitter phys ed world, as for like 2 years. I think it'll be in like January. So I'm just blown away by it. And like you said, like in Tampa, I'm going to give so many hugs in Tampa, just the people I've never met personally, which I always, like a year ago, I would have thought was weird that I would just go and start hugging people right at a convention. But apparently that's what you do. That's how Tanner and I met. So
you do, and yeah. But I've also been on the other end as well, and seeing the big Twitter names when I had first gone onto social media, and being in awe of them, and seeing like, even to this day, I haven't spoken to Amanda Stanek. Every time she's in the room, I just get goosebumps and get too embarrassed to go say hi. So if she's watching, I promise I'll come and say hi next time.
She's probably not. We only have like 5 viewers. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're done talking Phi Ed for a minute. We've established that you've known both of us for a while now. You're writing Tanner thank you notes every once in a while. Once in a while, we'll talk on the phone. But you need to decide right now.
Yeah.
Tanner and I are the only 2 options. Okay. Which of us, if you had to send one of us to a future SHAPE conference and keep one of us home, who's going to a SHAPE conference and he's already sweating?
Jason, I'm sending you.
Yes.
I'm sending you. And the reason why I'm sending you is because I've already met Tanner. I drove, God, that is the most boring drive from Illinois to Iowa. And I drove all that way pretty much to go and see Tanner because he'd been blowing it up on Twitter right at that time. And I thought, I have to meet this dude. We took a selfie, and I know him. Right? I've met him. I know him. I know he's got skills. And if you and I were doing our thing in Tampa, he'd probably be doing some side hustle with a little private PD on the side anyway. So we've not met. So you and I need to get together.
He's always got these huge projects he's trying to get me to do.
Yeah, I know.
Reverse that.
If I left you behind, I don't know how you'd feel, but I know Tanner's strong. So Tanner will be good.
So now I'm the one.
Look at that, I'm stronger.
I'd be the one whining. Okay, I see how it goes. Okay. Listen, and it's usually I'm always the one trying to get Tanner to do things, hence the talk show. And I'm trying to do a couple other little things.
I've gotten 2 text messages this week that have been like, hey, Chick, we got to do this thing. And I'm like, that's a lot of hours worth of work. And not like hours. That's like a month's
full-time job.
They're huge.
Yeah. But
that's funny that you have that relationship, because I have that with Justin Schleider.
Yeah.
We'll bounce text messages backwards and forwards. I'll get a brainwave. I'll text him because I have ideas, but he gets stuff done. So we'll bounce ideas backwards and forwards. So we kind of have a similar relationship.
I texted him about
Jason's
an idea today, and he finally, we're getting to the point in our relationship where he can say no, because he texted me back and he's like, that sounds cool, but I don't want to because that's too much work. So
that's good.
The text says, this is to me and Matthew Bissett, check your Twitter and try not to pass out when you see my idea. And it's like,
and it was an awesome idea. And I'm not going to share the idea on here either because someone's going to do it because it's an awesome idea. And I even have an awesome name picked out.
I'll watch this space.
It does. Except for all like the hard work, that's all we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Oh man. So hey, you just mentioned that you drove all the way to see me, which was awesome. Except for I don't know that you knew I was gonna be there. Anyway, so when you came to Iowa Aford at the workshop, I think it was a year ago, maybe. I wanted to sit in your classroom and kind of see how you do things, and it was awesome. And although I don't teach health ed, I did come away with a lot. Main thing I came away with was I ended up living with syphilis.
Oh, you still have syphilis.
And then I left with
oh, look at you with the lice.
This is not a kid's show.
Hep B.
Yeah.
Man, I left with herpes. Man, it was.
Because you can't have more than one STI at the same time. Yeah.
Well,
you're not the first person I've given syphilis to. I've given syphilis away at a number of conferences. So don't feel like you're special.
I'll be honest.
I enjoyed my time.
This has taken a weird turn, and if that's what you get from one of Andy Milne's presentations, I think I'll pass. I'll go to somebody else's, and I might pass on the hug now too.
Hey, why don't you tell us about some of the other engaging ways you can you get your class, or maybe you get your presentations where you get really people.
There's so many now because once you start weaving them into your pedagogy, it just becomes part of your teaching style. Ever since like Mike Kashala started engaging with PE teachers on social media a couple of years ago, I've really pushed the whole movement in the classroom. So it just makes my classroom more memorable and engaging and student-centered. So I get kids up and moving a lot. My favorite one is the walk and talk. Pose a question and then pair students up and send them out on a small route that you've obviously assigned earlier. And in that time, while they're talking about that, you can reset the classroom. You can change the desks. You can queue up a video. You can put packets on their desks. Or you can just take a breather and grab a sip of water and then be fresh when they come back in. And the walk and talk is a really good way to start getting movement in the classroom. But yeah, I really try and make my classroom as student centered as possible, and they feel like they're part of the process. I often ask them for my students for feedback. I let them know that they're helping develop me as a teacher. And when we tweak our lessons, I let them know that they're actually shaping the lessons for their peers that come after them. And I think they get a real kick out of that as well, that they're helping, prepare lessons for not only period 5 and period 7, but semester 2 and next year's students as well. So my kids certainly feel like they are part of the lesson.
Cool. Yeah. After I watched you talk about the walk and talk, I tried it with my elementary kids and it was great until I tried it with my kindergartners, and then I didn't know where they went. So I had to adjust that a little bit.
And I lost some kindergartners.
But I do use that once in a while. Now it's like, hey, we're going to walk and talk, but we're staying in the gym. Yeah. So I did like that.
So Andy, you're the 2017 National Health Ed Teacher of the Year. But you also work in the same building as Andy Horn, who's the 2015 National Health Ed Teacher of the Year. I mean, is there you guys are like, well, 15 is better, 15's a better year, 17's a better year. Like you have competitions back and forth, or is it just,
So
talk about that a little bit?
It is funny because not only is it I'm the 17, Andy's the 15, and he's 2 doors down from me. Downstairs in the dance studio, Johanna Wininski is the 2018 National Dance Teacher of the Year for Shape America. So
what kind of school are you at?
They're really good at golf.
Okay, so there's 4,000 students over 2 campuses. There's 36 people in my department.
36 people in your department.
36. So that's
people are in my department.
Is it you?
1.
Okay.
And we don't get along.
And that's the, it's great to bounce ideas off of Andy. I have to make an appointment to go see him because we're so busy. And as engaging and as an amazing teacher as he is, he's not an outlier in our department. I mean, my office mate, Dr. Kate Calnis, is an amazing teacher. There's Jim Davis just around the corner from me. He's our generation's Paul Zintarski. We've got so many good teachers. We're fortunate. We're well-resourced. And we go out, we find good teachers, we pay them a salary that keeps them, we retain good teachers. So I'm lucky, I benefit from that. I acknowledge all of the privileges that come with that, and that's why I can afford to give back. I can do stuff for free because I know I'm getting well paid. And then that allows me to develop myself anyway. So yeah, Andy's wonderful, and he's better than me.
Have you ever been in it?
Because he's going to be watching.
He can rap. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Like I want to see you in the video.
Well,
okay.
We'll make that happen.
Just walk behind her.
If you head out to North Carolina in the summer, Andy and I would be keynoting for Artie. We might put something special together for that one.
Yeah, I would love to.
That's my goal, but I don't think I'm getting there.
I know. It is mine too. We should have send a talk show host.
I already know it's going to be you, though.
Send a talk show host to Artie.
To the PE Institute.
Yeah. So every year or every episode this year, we're kind of asking people to share one super funny story or one really interesting story about something that's happened in their career. It could be something that happened in your classroom, something that happened when you were at a conference or a convention, something that's going to get laughs, something that's going to get views. Remember, there's only like 10 people that watch us, but do you have like one that you've got that one story that is your go-to, like you're looking for laughs story?
Looking for laughs? I don't know. I mean, I've been teaching for so long. I think, and in so many schools, and the kids I first started teaching are now getting married and divorced, and they've got kids that I could be teaching again. I do remember. I can see we have 10 minutes left. I do remember. In the first school I was at, some kids were playing around with ink pens. I guess we used to write with ink pens back in the day. That shows how long I've been teaching. And one had splashed all over the side of my brand new, very old Volkswagen Polo. It was gold. I was the only person driving a gold car in London at the time. And I got really angry and I said, "You better get that off right now. And I'm going to come back in 20 minutes. And if it's not there, there's detention and blah, blah, blah." So he took a compass. I'd gone. He took a compass out of his pencil case, again, showing our age. And he proceeded to scratch all of the ink off of the side of my car with his sharp compass. And it was funny because I couldn't get angry with him because he'd done exactly what I'd asked him to do.
How old was this kid?
Oh, he must have been like 12, 13.
Be careful what you ask for, I guess.
I know. Yeah, and you're right. I did. I learned how to speak to students more appropriately, I think.
Dude, tonight was awesome. I learned that you gave Tanner
syphilis, gonorrhea.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll leave that with you two. But listen, we're rusty, but it was still awesome. I'm so excited that you were able to join us tonight. We're going to play some cheesy talk show music as we exit. And while that's going on, you got to let some people know, how do we get a hold of you? Like if, we want to know your Twitter handle, do you have a website? et cetera, et cetera. Sell yourself. You got, a little bit to do that.
Okay, so you'll find me on social media as Carmel Health. I used to work at Carmel Catholic. I'm all over Twitter. You'll find me on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm at sendateacher.com. I'm at slowchathealth.com. I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm at Nutria High School. Just Google Andy Horn and ask him to come and get me.
All right. Well, hey, thank you very much for talking to us today.
This was nice and chilled. Thank you, gentlemen. I want to say Happy New Year to you both, and I hope our professional paths cross in the near future.
Hopefully soon. Give it 4 months, right? 4 months. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Andy, thank you. Tanner, check you later.
Adios.